I stood outside the bathroom door, listening to the sounds drifting from within. My phone screen remained frozen on the video. My wife, the woman I loved most, betraying me with another man on a yoga mat. Her petite frame seemed even more fragile in his arms, her breaths, each one a hammer, blow shattering my heart piece by piece. I knew about her yoga class every Tuesday afternoon, but I never knew these were the positions she practiced. I clenched my phone, knuckles turning white. A plan began to form, slowly taking shape in my mind. Su Yuqing, you like thrills, don't you? Then I'll let you experience what real thrills feel like. This video, sent by a stranger, a mere 2 minutes long, had annihilated our 6 years of marriage. Standing there, my finger tapped replay, almost of its own accord. I recognized the man, Chung Yifan, her yoga instructor, the owner of the gym. At home, she was always talking about him, how outstanding he was, what a dedicated teacher. So these were the positions she needed to practice. My chest heaved, a knot tightening in my throat. The shower was still running. Inside, she was humming our wedding song. The irony was thick enough to choke on. I opened the surveillance app. In a corner of the gym's changing room, they were still at it. Judging by the timestamp, this was already the 3rd time. 8 years we'd known each other, 6 years married. I'd climbed from a regular office worker to a tech executive, giving her the very best of everything. And in return, she'd thrown my most precious trust to the dogs. Suddenly, my phone vibrated. The unknown number again. Mr. Lin, video sent. Your wife and Chung Yifan have been at it for months. Everyone knows. You're the only one clueless. A cold smile touched my lips. Thanks. I know what needs to be done. Impressive move, Mr. Lin, getting surveillance installed in the gym so fast. That scumbag, Chung Yifan, deserves whatever's coming. Heard you already bought his gym company? He's still in the dark. Thinks he's met his lucky star. I didn't respond. The bathroom door opened. Su Yuqing emerged, wrapped in a bath towel. Seeing me, she was clearly startled. Honey, why are you back so early today? She was still so beautiful. Petite figure, delicate features, an air of innocence. How could anyone suspect such a woman of cheating? I looked at her, struggling to suppress the inferno raging within me. The company just finalized an acquisition deal, so I left early. Is it Coach Cheng's gym? Her gaze flickered evasively. You mentioned wanting to acquire it before. It startled me. Yes, just signed a contract. I loosened my tie. Why? Are you very concerned? No. She quickly slipped on her pajamas. I just think it's a nice place. Hope there won't be too many changes. I stared at her back. There was a fresh scratch there. Left by Chung Yifan, no doubt. Crystal clear on the surveillance footage. Of course, there won't be changes. I walked up behind her, my fingers lightly tracing the scratch. Coach Chung and I had a very pleasant chat. He'll be staying on. Her body visibly tensed. Honey, that mark is... What's wrong? I withdrew my hand, my tone light. It's nothing. I know some yoga poses are difficult. Getting injured is normal. Coach Chung will surely take good care of you. She stiffened even more. I turned toward the closet. By the way, there's a company banquet this Saturday evening. Coach Chung will be there too. How about I take you along? I don't think I'll go. Why not? I glanced back at her. Didn't you always say Coach Chung takes such good care of you? It's a perfect chance to thank him. She lowered her head. I haven't been feeling well lately. Is that so? I walked up to her, cupped her chin. But you looked quite energetic during your yoga class today, didn't you? She snapped her head up, her face deathly pale. What? What do you mean? I released her chin. Nothing. Just concerned about you. After all, you're my beloved wife. With that, I turned and walked out of the bedroom. Hurried footsteps echoed behind me. Honey, wait. I stood still, not turning around. Explain what? Explain your Tuesday afternoon yoga classes? Or explain what you and Chung Yifan were doing in the changing room? Her body trembled violently. You know. Know what? A cold sneer. Know that my beloved wife is writhing beneath another man? Or know that I'm the biggest joke in the entire gym? It's not like that. Her voice cracked with tears. It was a moment of weakness. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I grabbed her wrist, forcefully pulling her off me. Forgive you? I gave you chances. I found out last month. I thought you'd stop. Feel guilty. Confess to me. You knew last month. She collapsed onto the floor. So that's why you bought the gym? Yes. I finally turned, looking down at her. I wanted to see just how shameless my wife could be. She broke down sobbing. Honey, I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. He seduced me. I lost my mind for a moment. Seduced? I crouched down, grabbed her hair, forcing her head up to look at me. In the video, did he force you? She couldn't meet my eyes. Tell me. My voice was soft, yet cold as ice. What does he have that I don't? Is it his body, his skill, or those sweet nothings he whispers? No, it's not. She clutched at my hand. Honey, listen to me. I really know I was wrong. Can we start over? Please? I swear I'll never do it again. I released her hair. Start over? She looked up, eyes brimming with tears. Yes, we'll start over. I'll make it up to you. But I stood up. I no longer need it. With that, I turned and walked downstairs. Honey, where are you going? She cried from behind me. The office. I didn't look back. See you at the banquet on Saturday. I'm not going. Please, let's just talk properly. I opened the front door. You'd better be there, or else I'll send the video to your parents. Her choke sobs followed me. I ignored them, closed the door, and headed for the garage. Once inside the car, I finally lost control, slamming my fist onto the steering wheel. Su Yuqing, I loved you so much. But why would you do this to me? My phone vibrated again. A message from Chung Yifan. Mr. Lin, I'll definitely be there on time for the banquet Saturday. Thank you for this opportunity. I opened my notes app, looking at the plan, item by item. Good. Everything is proceeding according to plan. Chung Yifan, you enjoy touching another man's wife, don't you? Then let's see you pay the price for playing with fire. I drove around aimlessly for a while and ended up at a bar. Ordered a whiskey. I started to carefully review the plan for this past month. A month ago, I received the first anonymous text message. It contained only one sentence. Your wife is cheating on you. At first, I didn't believe it, because in my heart, Su Yuqing was an angel. We were university classmates. She was 4 years younger than me, still a freshman back then. The first time we met, she was wearing a white dress, standing in the sunlight, smiling at me. At that moment, I knew she was the one for me in this lifetime. Many pursued her, but in the end, she chose me. We got married after graduation. For these past 6 years, I've worked desperately hard just to give her the best life. I thought we would go on like this forever. Until that text message. I started paying attention to her every move. Soon, I discovered that her Tuesday afternoon yoga class always ran longer than usual. And on her phone, there were always some ambiguous conversations with Chung Yifan. I didn't confront her, but began to deploy my plan. First, I acquired the gym, then installed surveillance cameras in every corner. I wanted to see just how fallen my angel could become. Thinking about it now, it's truly laughable. I downed 3 whiskeys in a row, a burning pain searing my stomach. Just then, my phone rang. It was Su Yuqing. I answered, "What is it?" "Hubby." Her voice was still choked with tears. "Where are you? I really want to see you." "See me for what?" I sneered. "Can't Coach Chung satisfy you?" "Don't say that," she sobbed. "I really know I was wrong. Can you come back? Let's talk properly." "There's nothing to talk about." I took a gulp of alcohol. "See you at the Saturday banquet." "Do you have to make me go?" Her voice held a plea. "I really don't want to see him." "Why don't you want to see him?" I retorted. "Weren't you getting along quite happily this afternoon?" Silence fell on the other end of the line. "Su Yuqing." I stared at the ice cubes in my glass. "Do you remember our wedding vows?" She cried even harder. "I remember. I'm so sorry." "What's the use of saying that now?" I said coldly. "Saturday you must come. Dress up nicely. After all, it's your lover's first time attending such an event. You need to make him look good." "Hubby," she suddenly became agitated. "I've already broken it off with him. I swear, I'll never see him again. Please believe me." I scoffed. "Broken it off? You mean the way you broke it off this afternoon?" Her voice trailed off. "Get some rest," I said, about to hang up. "Wait," she said urgently. "Are you coming back tonight?" I paused for a moment. "Do you want me to come back?" "I do," she whispered. "I'll wait for you." After hanging up, I ordered another drink. The waitress came over. "Sir, would you like anything else?" I looked up and saw a rather pretty girl winking flirtatiously at me. "No, thank you." I got up to pay the bill. Walking out of the bar, I took a deep breath. If I go home now, she'll definitely be on her best behavior. Maybe she'll put on that nightgown I like best, then gently massage me, carefully trying to please me. Perhaps she'll even offer herself. Heh, does she want to try all those new tricks she learned from Chung Yifan on me? I started the car and drove towards the office. It was almost 10 when I arrived at the office. The receptionist looked surprised to see me. "Mr. Lin, working overtime so late." I loosened my tie. There are some things I need to handle. Entering my office, I turned on the computer and started looking up Chung Yifan's information. This man, 35, unmarried, but with a rich history of affairs. His previous gym was built by seducing students and getting close to their husbands for investments. Interesting. I opened the surveillance footage, reviewing his achievements for the past month. Besides Su Yuqing, 2 other married young women frequently attended his private training sessions. My phone vibrated. It was a message from Su Yuqing. Hubby, I made your favorite soup. When are you coming back? I didn't reply. A moment later, she sent another. Are you at the office? Should I bring you some food? I replied. No need, just stay put at home. She replied instantly. Hubby, don't be like this. I really know I was wrong. I'll do anything you ask. I turn off my phone. Chung Yi-fun, you enjoy playing with other men's wives, don't you? Very well. At the Saturday banquet, I'll show you what true despair looks like. I opened a drawer and took out a file. It contained information about his previous mistresses. He used the same methods, seduced them, filmed them, then threatened their husbands for investments. And now, all that evidence is in my hands. I took out my phone and dialed a number. Lawyer Zhang, is everything prepared? All set, the other party said. The lawsuit documents are ready, just waiting for your command. Excellent. I gaze at the night outside the window. After Saturday, we can begin. After hanging up, I open another document. A divorce agreement. Su Yuqing, you like excitement, don't you? Then I'll show you what real excitement is. Everything will come to a head at the Saturday banquet. My phone vibrated again. It was her again. Hubby, I was wrong. Don't treat me like this. I'm really scared. Scared of what? I replied. Losing me? Or the videos getting exposed? Both. Her message included crying emojis. I really can't live without you. Huh, now you know you can't live without me? Where were you earlier? I turn off my phone, lean back in my chair, and close my eyes. My mind was filled with images of her and Chung Yi-fun. I pinched my arm hard until the pain brought me back to clarity. Su Yuqing, do you have any idea how I've spent this past month? Watching you pretend to be the perfect wife and mother in front of me, only to become debauched in front of Chung Yi-fun. I will make you understand the price of betrayal. Time trickled by slowly. At 2 in the morning, I packed my things, ready to go home. My phone was full of messages from her. Hubby, when are you coming back? I miss you so much. Please talk to me. I really know I was wrong. Don't ignore me. I'm so scared. The last one was from 10 minutes ago. I'm waiting for you at the door. Pitiable? No, you brought this upon yourself. Driving back home, sure enough, I saw her curled up by the door. Hearing the car, she immediately stood up and ran towards me. Hubby. I dodged her embrace. Go back to sleep. Don't be like this. She grabbed my hand. You can hit me, curse me, anything, just don't treat me like this. I shook her off. Hit you? Curse you? That's what lovers do. Tears streamed down her face. I'm sorry. I really know I was wrong. I pushed the door open. Sleep in the guest room. No. She hugged my waist. Let me sleep with you. Please. I turned, gripping her chin. Are you sure you want to sleep with me? Aren't you afraid I'll rip off your clothes and check for new scratches? Her face instantly turned pale. That's scared. I released her. Looks like today's battle was quite intense. Go sleep in the guest room. Don't let me see your body. I'm afraid I might not be able to resist killing you. With that said, I walked into the master bedroom and closed the door. The moment the door closed, I finally couldn't hold it in anymore and collapsed onto the floor. My hands trembling, I lit a cigarette. The nicotine calmed me slightly. From outside the door came the sound of her soft sobbing. There was a time when just hearing her cry would break my heart, and I'd rush over to comfort her immediately. Now, the sound only made me sick. I opened my phone and reviewed the past month's surveillance footage. Every frame was like a knife twisting viciously in my heart. How ridiculous I was, working late at the office until midnight, while my beloved wife writhed pleasurably beneath another man. Saturday. 3 days left. I will show you both what true hell is. When I woke the next day, it was already bright daylight. Opening the door, the aroma of coffee filled the living room. Su Yuqing had changed into a white dress and was busy in the kitchen. Seeing me, she offered a tentative smile. Honey, I made your favorite blue mountain coffee. This dress was the same style she wore on our first date. Huh, so now she knows how to curry favor? I sat down at the dining table, and she immediately brought the coffee over. I noticed her eyes were red and swollen. Clearly, she hadn't slept all night. Honey, she said softly, I fried some bacon for you, and also... Sit down. I cut her off. We need to talk. Her body visibly stiffened, but she obediently sat down opposite me. Tell me. I stared in her eyes. When did it start? She lowered her head. 3 months ago. How did it start? Her voice was faint. That day after yoga, he said there was something wrong with my posture and offered to help adjust it. Then you just offered yourself up? I sneered. The first time was in the locker room. Tears fell from her eyes. I'm sorry. I truly know I was wrong. Wrong about what? I leaned back in my chair. Wrong because I found out? Or wrong because you didn't stop sooner? She looked up. I was wrong to betray you. I shouldn't have. What? My voice was cold. Was I not good enough? Or perhaps I couldn't satisfy you. That's not it. She stood up abruptly. You're the best to me. I lost my mind. I really... Did you know? I interrupted her. Yesterday, I looked into it. Your dear Coach Chung has played around with quite a few young married women like you. Did you think you were special? Did you think he truly loved you? She froze. What? What do you mean? I took out my phone and pulled up a video. Take a look. In the video, Chung Yifan was embracing another woman. The timestamp was from the day before yesterday. Impossible. Her face turned deathly pale. He said he only loved me. Utterly foolish. I turned off the video. Did you think all the good men in the world were dead, leaving only him? Large teardrops rolled down her cheeks. I'm sorry. I really know I was wrong. Honey, please forgive me, okay? I'll never do it again. Forgive you. I stood up and walked over to her. Do you think that's possible? She threw herself at me, hugging my waist. Honey, please. I really can't leave you. You're the one I love. I grabbed her hair, forcing her head up to look at me. Love me? Is this how you express love? Moaning like a whore beneath another man, while I'm working myself to death. Don't say that. She cried harder. I know I was wrong. Do whatever you want. Just don't leave me. I released her hair. What's the use of saying all this now? I pulled a document from my pocket and threw it onto the table. Trembling, she picked it up. Her face went white when she saw the title. Divorce agreement. Yes, I said coldly. This is the only ending. No. She tore the document to shreds. I won't divorce. Don't even think about getting rid of me. Watching her hysterical display, I found it laughable. Do you think you still have a choice? Honey, she clung to my leg. Give me one more chance. Just one. I'll do anything. Anything. I crouched down, pinching her chin. All right then. At the banquet on Saturday, cooperate obediently with me in putting on a show, and I'll forgive you. Her eyes lit up. Really? Of course. I released her chin. But before that, you need to cooperate with me on a few things. What things? First, keep in contact with Chung Yifan, but don't let him suspect anything is wrong. Her face paled again. Why? Because I gave a cold smile. I want you to watch with your own eyes how he is destroyed. She bit her lip. What? What are you planning to do to him? Do to him? I stood up. Are you very concerned about him? No. She shook her head hastily. Relax, I won't let him die. I turned towards the door. I just want him to learn the price of playing with another man's wife. Wait. She hurried after me. What's the second thing? I stopped. The second thing is simple. From now on, you move into the guest room. I don't want to touch anything you've touched. Tears welled up again. Honey, enough. I push her away. I won't be back tonight. You should think things over carefully. Where are you going? She grabbed my clothes. Are you going to find another woman? I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Am I like you? Able to just crawl into anyone's bed? Her face flushed crimson. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Behave yourself. I shook off her hand. Otherwise, you know the consequences. Driving to the office, I immediately called a meeting with the heads of the legal and public relations departments. Mr. Lin, the legal department manager, handed over a file. This is the evidence we've gathered. In recent years, Chung Yifan has used the same methods to defraud the husbands of at least 5 women. The total amount exceeds 20 million. I flipped through the documents. Is the evidence solid? We have video proof for all cases, he said. As soon as you give the word, we can file charges at any time. Excellent. I closed the file. And public relations? The PR manager said, we've already contacted several media outlets, just waiting for your signal. Remember, I instructed them, don't alert the target before the banquet on Saturday. After the meeting, I checked my phone. Su Yuqing had sent several messages. Honey, are you at the office? I can bring you lunch. Why aren't you replying? Please talk to me. I really miss you. The latest one read, he messaged me, asking why I didn't go to class today. How should I reply? I replied, arrange to meet him tomorrow. She replied instantly, why? I don't want to see him. Didn't you say you'd do anything? After a long pause, she replied, okay, I'll listen to you. I put down my phone and stared blankly out the window. Once around this time, she would also message me, saying she missed me and wanted to bring me lunch. Thinking back now, were those times right after she'd finished having sex with Chung Yifan, acting cute with me? Disgusting. In the evening, I received another message from her. He asked to meet tomorrow at 2 p.m. I replied, go. Behave yourself. She sent a string of crying emojis. Honey, I don't want to go. I'm scared. Scared of what? That I'll film it. I sneered. Relax, I won't. I want you to watch with your own eyes how he is destroyed. She didn't reply again. The next afternoon, I sat in my office, watching the surveillance feed. At exactly 2 o'clock, Su Yuqing appeared in the gym. She wore loose-fitting sportswear and looked very uncomfortable. Chung Yifan soon appeared, his smile as radiant as ever. "Baby, miss me?" She dodged his embrace. "Don't." "What's wrong?" He frowned. "Did your husband find something out?" "No." She kept her head down. "Let's just start the workout." "Don't be in such a hurry." He put his arm around her waist. "You haven't been coming recently. I've missed you like crazy." As he spoke, he leaned in to kiss her. She pushed him away forcefully. "No, we're in the main area." "Then the locker room," he said with a smile. "Or perhaps you prefer the office?" I stared intently at the screen. "Su Yuqing, you'd better not disappoint me." I watched as she bit her lip. "No, I can't. I got my period today." Chung Yifan was clearly disappointed. "All right then, let's practice first." "But baby, did you know I'll also be at that banquet your husband is hosting?" Her body visibly tensed. I know." "Don't worry," he leaned close to her ear. "I'll act very natural. But you must look beautiful in an evening gown. I can't wait to see." She forced a smile. "Let's start training." Watching this scene, my hands clenched tightly into fists. "Very good, Chung Yifan. You like to play, don't you? Then let's let you play to your heart's content at the banquet." Returning home that evening, I found Su Yuqing curled up on the living room sofa. Seeing me, she immediately stood up. "Honey, good performance." I took off my jacket. "It seems you are obedient after all." She looked down. "I did everything you said. Can you forgive me?" "Forgive?" I walked up to her. "It's too early to talk about that now." "Then," she bit her lip. "Then when can we start over?" I lifted her chin. "After the banquet on Saturday. If you behave well, I'll forgive you." Her eyes lit up. "Really?" "Of course." I released her chin. "But before then, you'd better keep your mouth shut." She froze. "What do you mean?" "I check your call logs." I sneered. "What did you want to tell Sister Lee when you called her today?" "That I'm divorcing you." Her face turned deathly pale. I just wanted to ask for her opinion." Slap. I struck her across the face. It was the first time I had ever hit her. She covered her face, looking at me in disbelief. Remember, my voice was ice cold. "If you dare tell anyone about this, the videos will appear on everyone's phones, including your parents." Tears streamed down her face. "No, please don't do this." "Then just be obedient." I turned and went upstairs. Before the banquet on Saturday, I don't want to hear any more rumors. Back in my room, I lit a cigarette. My hand was still trembling. I once swore I would never hit her in my life. But now, I wished I could beat her to death. Time passed day by day. Su Yuqing became increasingly cautious and timid. Every morning, she would prepare breakfast for me and lay out my clothes. But between us, there was no longer any communication. She didn't dare meet Chung Yifan again, only occasionally replying to his messages with excuses. Finally, Saturday arrived. At 6 in the evening, I changed into my suit and went downstairs. Su Yuqing was ready. She wore a black evening gown that revealed her slender shoulders. Her hair was swept up, revealing the elegant line of her neck. She was still so beautiful. A pity that such a beautiful exterior hid such a filthy heart. "Honey," she said softly, "are we leaving now?" I checked my watch. "It's still early." "First, let me tell you what you need to do tonight." She bit her lip and nodded. "First, I adjusted my tie. When you see Chung Yifan later, you need to act natural. Second, he'll try to touch you, and you need to play along. Third, you also need to cooperate with the main event after the banquet ends." Her face grew increasingly pale. "What main event?" I sneered. "You'll find out when the time comes." "Honey," she grabbed my hand. "What exactly are you planning?" I shook her off. "Are you worried about him?" "No." She shook her head hastily. "I just—" "Relax." I turned towards the door. "I won't let him die. As I said, I want you to watch with your own eyes how he is destroyed." She followed behind me, her voice choked with tears. "Honey, please don't do this." I stopped. "Are you begging me to let him go now?" "No." She lowered her head. "I just don't want to see him again." "Too late," I said coldly. "Since you two had so much fun playing, tonight you can play to your heart's content." The banquet was held on the top floor of the Imperial Grand Hotel. By the time I drove there, quite a few guests had already arrived. Su Yuqing sat in the passenger seat, trembling the entire way. "Remember what I said?" I switched off the engine. "Don't disappoint me." She bit her lip and nodded. Just as we stepped into the lobby, Chung Yifan came forward to greet us. "Mr. Lin." He was dressed in a high-end custom suit, his smile as bright and sunny as ever. Seeing Su Yuqing, his eyes visibly lit up. "Coach Chung." I extended my hand. "So formal today?" "Haha, it's my first time attending this kind of event. Of course I have to take it seriously." He shook my hand, then turned to Su Yuqing. "Mrs. Lin is here too?" You look stunning today. Su Yuqing's body clearly stiffened. I put my arm around her waist. Naturally, my wife is always the most beautiful woman in the room. But Coach Chung, surely you've seen her often enough in her yoga attire? Chung Yifun's smile didn't falter. Mrs. Lin does have an excellent figure. She has a real talent for yoga. Is that so? I said meaningfully. It seems the private lessons have been very effective. Su Yuqing grew increasingly rigid. Of course. Chung Yifun glanced at her. I always take my responsibilities towards my students very seriously. I raised my glass. Then a toast to Coach Chung. Thank you for taking such good care of my wife. He raised his glass as well. It's my duty. Watching them clink glasses, I sneered inwardly. The real show was about to begin. After a few rounds of drinks, Chung Yifun predictably couldn't hold back any longer and sidled up to Su Yuqing. Mrs. Lin, care for a dance? Su Yuqing looked towards me. I nodded. Go ahead. It's rare for Coach Chung to be so enthusiastic. They walked toward the dance floor. Chung Yifun put his arm around her waist and whispered something in her ear. Her face instantly turned deathly pale. Holding my wine glass, I walked over to the security manager. Is everything ready? All set. He gave me a knowing look. Just waiting for your signal. Good. I checked my watch. Another 10 minutes. Just then, the lights in the venue dimmed. A soft female voice announced, Distinguished guests, may we now invite our Mr. Lin to say a few words for everyone. A spotlight hit me. I walked onto the stage, looking around. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend this evening's banquet. Today, I have an important announcement to make. All eyes were on me. I believe everyone knows that we recently acquired a fitness center. I raised my glass. The owner of this fitness center, Mr. Chung Yifun, is also here today. Mr. Chung, could you please come up on stage? Chung Yifun was clearly taken aback for a moment, but still walked onto the stage, smiling. Mr. Lin, you're too kind. Not all. I patted his shoulder. A talented individual like Mr. Chung is someone our company certainly wants to utilize fully. Here today, I officially announce the appointment of Mr. Chung as our company's chief wellness consultant. Applause filled the room. The smile on Chung Yifun's face grew wider. Thank you for your trust, Mr. Lin. I will definitely live up to this responsibility. As you should. I raised my glass. With Mr. Cheng's experience, I'm sure he'll do an excellent job, especially when it comes to taking care of other people's wives. His smile froze. Mr. Lin, what do you mean? I didn't answer, instead snapping my fingers. The large screen lit up. On it, shockingly, was a video of him and Su Yuqing in the locker room. The entire room fell silent instantly. Chung Yifun's face turned ashen. This is... No need to be nervous, Mr. Chung, my voice was soft. This is just the beginning. The screen switched to another scene. This time, it was him with another woman. This must be Mrs. Wang, correct? I said with a smile. Do you remember her, Mr. Chung? The wife of Mr. Wang, who invested $5 million in your venture last year. Cold sweat trickled down Chung Yifun's face. Mr. Lin, The screen continued to switch. Video after video played. Each one featured him with a different woman. The room erupted in gasps and murmurs. Mr. Chung certainly has his methods. I applauded. Always the same routine. First, seduce another man's wife, film it, then threaten their husbands into investing. Over these past 3 years, how much money have you defrauded this way? 20 million? Or more? His face was now ghastly white. No, it's not like that. Not like that. I sneered. Then tell everyone, how did you manage to get your hands on my wife? All eyes in the room turned to Su Yuqing. She stood in a corner, trembling uncontrollably, tears streaming down her face. Mr. Chung, my voice turned cold. You didn't really think I was planning to promote you, did you? He suddenly lunged at me, attempting to strike. Lin Shun, you bastard. Security guards immediately rushed forward and subdued him. Take him away, I adjusted my tie. The police have probably grown impatient waiting. Several police officers entered and handcuffed Chung Yifun. Chung Yifun, you are suspected of fraud. Come with us. No, he struggled frantically. Lin Shun, may you die a horrible death. I didn't even glance at him. Take him away. By the way, those gentlemen you defrauded are also waiting to settle scores with you. He was still cursing incessantly as he was dragged away. I turned back to the audience. My apologies for subjecting everyone to this farce. Please, let the banquet continue. The music started again. I walked towards Su Yuqing. She had collapsed onto the floor, shaking violently. Husband, Get up. I grabbed her arm. Don't embarrass yourself here. She stumbled to her feet. The videos. The videos won't. Rest assured, I sneered. I didn't show all of your videos. However, I pulled out my phone and showed her. These media outlets should have received them by now. You'll be headlining the news tomorrow morning. Her legs gave way, and she nearly fell. Don't. I beg you, don't. Too late. I released her. This is the price. She grabbed my hand. Husband, didn't you say you'd forgive me? Forgive. I shook her off. Are you worthy? With that, I turned and walked away. Behind me, her cries echoed. Husband, don't leave me. Please. I didn't look back. The next morning, the news was everywhere. Shocking. Details of celebrity fitness coach's fraud case exposed. Cruel methods. Specialized in seducing married women. Numerous victims. Over 20 million involved. Popular actress implicated. Explicit videos leaked. Su Yuqing indeed made the headlines. Although the media pixelated the images, anyone familiar would recognize her instantly. She called me frantically, sending messages. Husband, save me. The videos are all over the internet. My parents saw the news. What should I do? Please help me. I didn't reply to a single one. Around noon, Sisterly called. Mr. Lin, about this matter. Sisterly, thank you for your hard work all these years. I interrupted her. The company will give you a severance package. She was silent for a moment. I understand. Then, Yuqing. Has nothing to do with me, I said coldly. Her affairs are none of my concern. After hanging up, I opened my computer. Major forums were buzzing with discussion about the incident. My God, I never expected she was that kind of person. Image shattered. The innocent act exposed. Her husband is so pitiful. That kind of woman deserves it. I closed the webpage and lit a cigarette. The phone rang again. It was her parents. I answered. Lin Shun, her mother sobbed. How could this happen? Can't you two talk things through properly if there's a problem? I laughed coldly. Mom, you should ask your daughter how properly she treated me. I know she did wrong. Her mother choked back tears. But you can't treat her like this. She's being attacked by the entire internet now. That's the price. My voice was frigid. Your precious daughter chose this path herself. Lin Shun, her father took the phone. Aren't you afraid of breaking her heart by doing this? Breaking her heart. I couldn't help but laugh aloud. Did she think about my heart when she was beneath another man? They fell silent. Mom, Dad, I took a deep breath. I've already had my lawyer send over the divorce papers. If Yuqing doesn't want to make things uglier, she'll sign them obediently. With that, I hung up. Opening a drawer, I looked at the divorce agreement inside. You brought all of this upon yourself. Returning home that evening, I found Su Yuqing curled up by the door. Seeing me, she immediately lunged forward. Husband, you're finally back. Her makeup was smudged, her hair disheveled. She looked utterly broken. I pushed her away. Moo. No. She clung tightly to my leg. Don't kick me out. I truly know I was wrong. I looked down at her. Know you were wrong? What good does knowing that do now? I'll change. She sobbed uncontrollably. I'll do anything you ask. Please forgive me. Enough. I shook her off. Signed the divorce papers. And you can go wherever you want. I don't want a divorce, she shrieked. I love you. I only love you. I sneered. Love me? Is this how you express love? Husband, she clutched my trouser leg. Give me one more chance. Just one. I'm willing to do anything. I crouched down, pinching her chin. Willing to do anything? All right, I'll give you two choices. Her eyes lit up. What choices? First, I released her, sign the divorce agreement right now. I'll give you a sum of money, and you disappear from my life forever. No, she shook her head. I don't want money. I only want you. Second, I stood up. We continue playing. I'll let everyone know just what kind of creature you are. She froze. What? What do you mean? I still have plenty of videos, I sneered. Want to see how captivating you look moaning under Chung Yifan? Her face turned deathly pale. No, don't. Then sign obediently. I pulled the divorce agreement from my pocket. Otherwise, new videos will appear online tomorrow. She trembled all over. You can't do this. Why can't I? My voice was glacial. Weren't you enjoying yourself? Let more people see how much fun you were having. She finally broke down completely. Husband, are you even human? I know I was wrong. Why are you doing this to me? Not human. I crouched down again, speaking word by word. Were you human when you betrayed me? She covered her face, sobbing bitterly. I threw the agreement in front of her. Have it signed and delivered to the lawyer's office by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, you bear the consequences. With that, I turned and went upstairs. From behind me, she yelled, Lin Shun, don't force me. I didn't turn back. Force you? You think I care? Back in my room, I lit a cigarette. Her weeping drifted in from outside the window. I paid it no mind. My phone vibrated. It was a message from the lawyer. Mr. Lin, Chung Yifan has confessed. Minimum sentence of 10 years. Good. That's the price. The next morning, the lawyer called. Mr. Lin, Miss Su didn't show up. I sneered. Is that so? Opening my computer, I uploaded another video segment online. This one was even more explosive. Within half an hour, the news was plastered everywhere again. Su Yuqing was trending again. This time, her parents called, pleading. Lin Shun, you can't do this, her mother cried. Yuqing, she's already broken down. That's her problem, I said coldly. Tell her to sign obediently. Otherwise, there are more videos. Hanging up, I looked out the window. The sunlight was bright, but my heart felt like ice. At noon, the lawyer called again. Mr. Lin, Miss Su came. She signed. I acknowledged softly. It was over. Everything was over. Returning home that evening, I found all of Su Yuqing's things gone. A letter lay on the dining table. I picked it up, recognizing her messy handwriting. Husband, I'm sorry. I know apologies are meaningless now. I took the videos you wanted. I'm gonna be with Chung Yifan. This way you can be free. Goodbye. I frowned, about to make a call. My phone rang first. It was sisterly. Mr. Lin, something terrible happened. Yuqing. She went to find Chung Yifan. My heart suddenly clenched. What do you mean? She brought a knife. Sister Lee's voice was choked with tears. The police have already gone. I hung up and immediately drove to the police station. On the way, the news was already breaking everywhere. Shocking. Actress attacks lover with knife. Commits suicide on the spot. Dies despite rescue efforts. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. Su Yuqing, incorrigible to the end. Even in death, you had to be with that man. Fine. Then you can both go down to hell together. 1 year later, I gazed at the photograph before the headstone. Su Yuqing was still so beautiful, but forever frozen in that moment. Chung Yifan was dead, killed on the spot. Was this the result I wanted? I thought for a moment. Yes. This ending was more satisfying than I'd expected. Driving home, I turned on the television. Another news report about an extramarital affair. I switched off the TV and poured myself a drink. Outside the window, the moonlight was perfect. A new life was beginning.